Hey everyone, and welcome back. You know what we're doing today.
What's that?
We are going deep,
Oh,
deep into the world of nutrition.
okay, cool.
And we're using excerpts from Nutrition 101 as our guide.
Okay.
Have you ever wondered why some foods just give you that instant energy boost, but others leave you feeling just sluggish?
Oh, yeah.
So today we're going to uncover the science behind how the food fuels our bodies.
Okay.
By the end of this deep dive, you'll have a really solid understanding of just the basics of nutrition.
Yeah.
Like what nutrition really is, how calories work, and the roles of those macronutrients and micronutrients.
Yeah, it's so interesting. So many people think nutrition is just about weight loss,
Right,
but it's so much bigger than that.
for sure.
Nutrition 101 really hits the nail on the head when it defines nutrition as the study of food and how it affects our bodies.
Yeah.
It's about understanding how the nutrients in food impact our growth, our development, and our overall health.
Right. It's not just about fitting into those genes.
Exactly.
So how does food actually affect our bodies?
Yeah.
What's going on at a deeper level?
You can think of your body like a very complex machine,
Okay.
and like any machine,
Yeah.
it needs fuel to function. That fuel comes from the food we eat, and the energy in food is measured in calories.
Oh, so that's why some people are always hungry.
Could be.
They just need more fuel than others.
Yeah, the number of calories each of us needs varies quite a bit,
Oh, okay.
depending on things like our age, sex, how active we are,
Uh-huh.
and even our body composition.
Makes sense. Okay. So let's talk about the different types of fuel our bodies need.
Okay.
The macronutrients.
Yeah.
Nutrition 101 breaks them down into carbohydrates,
Uh-huh.
proteins,
Yep.
and fats. Carbs seem to get a bad rap these days.
They do.
Are they really the villains they're made out to be?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Carbohydrates are actually your body's primary source of energy.
Okay.
Think of them as the go-to fuel.
Uh-huh.
They break down into glucose, which powers everything,
Wow.
from our brains to our
Okay.
muscles.
So where do we find these energy-giving carbs?
They're in a lot of the foods we eat every day. Grains like rice and bread,
Okay.
fruits, vegetables, and even some dairy products.
Gotcha. And what about protein? Nutrition 101 has a picture here highlighting all the protein-rich foods.
Yeah.
Meat, poultry, fish,
Uh-huh.
dairy, beans, nuts, and seeds.
Those are all excellent sources of protein.
Yeah, I see some of my favorites there.
And protein is crucial because it's the building block for our body's tissues.
Oh, wow.
It's essential for growth, repair, and maintaining everything from our muscles to our hair and nails.
Wow. Okay, so carbs. Do our protein needs differ from person to person?
They do.
Really?
Just like with calories, factors like age, how active you are, and other individual needs will influence how much protein you need each day.
Oh, okay.
But it's safe to say protein is essential for everyone.
Okay. Now, this is where things get interesting for me.
Okay.
Nutrition 101 says that fats are essential too. I always thought we should avoid them as much as possible.
That's a common misconception.
Is it really?
Fats play a vital role in our bodies.
Huh.
They help us store energy,
Okay.
insulate our organs,
Uh-huh.
and even protect them from damage.
Wow.
We find them in foods like oils, butter,
Okay.
nuts, and seeds.
So not all fats are bad.
Exactly. It's important to know the difference between saturated and unsaturated fats.
Okay.
Saturated fats, like those found in butter and fatty meats, are usually solid at room temperature and should be limited.
Okay.
Unsaturated fats, found in things like olive oil, avocados, and nuts, are liquid at room temperature and are considered the healthier choice.
That makes sense. So we've got calories as the units of energy.
All right.
And carbs, protein, and fats as the main sources of that energy.
Yes.
This is a lot to keep track of.
It is.
Is that where calorie counting comes in?
Calorie counting can be a useful tool for managing your weight,
Okay.
whether you're trying to lose, gain, or maintain it.
Uh-huh.
It helps you understand how much energy you're taking in and how that compares to the energy you're burning.
And there are apps for that, right?
There are tons of apps and websites that can help make tracking calories a lot easier.
That's great. This is fascinating. But I have to admit, it is a lot to digest.
It is a lot.
We've covered calories and macronutrients.
Right.
But what about those micronutrients? Nutrition 101 keeps mentioning. Where do they fit into all of this?
Micronutrients are just as important as macronutrients.
They might be needed in smaller amounts.
Right.
But they play a big role in our health.
Huge role.
Nutrition 101 says micronutrients include vitamins and minerals. So what exactly do they do?
Think of micronutrients like the tiny but mighty workers behind the scenes.
Okay.
They're involved in all sorts of bodily functions.
Oh.
For example, vitamins are crucial for things like our immune system,
Mm.
converting food into energy,
Uh-huh.
and even protecting our cells from damage.
And minerals, what's their superpower?
Minerals are just as important.
Okay.
They're involved in building strong bones,
Okay.
regulating our fluid balance,
Mhm.
and helping our nerves and muscles work properly.
Wow. So many things.
Think about calcium for strong bones, iron for healthy blood,
Uh-huh.
and magnesium, which is super important for muscle recovery.
Wow. Okay, so both vitamins and minerals are essential.
Yes.
But Nutrition 101 points out that our bodies don't actually make these micronutrients.
We don't.
If we don't produce them ourselves,
Right.
how do we get enough of them?
That's where the idea of a balanced and varied diet comes in.
Okay.
No one food contains all the micronutrients we need.
Wow.
So eating a wide variety of foods is key to getting what our bodies need.
So eating the rainbow, as they say, is good for us.
Yeah.
But what about those of us who might have dietary restrictions? Or just picky eaters?
Right.
What can we do to make sure we're not missing out on those essential nutrients?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And that leads perfectly into one of Nutrition 101's key points. How can we make sure we're getting a good balance of all those nutrients? It's not always easy,
Right.
but there are definitely some strategies we can use.
Okay, let's hear them.
First, it's important to remember that individual calorie needs vary,
Okay.
depending on a lot of different factors. We already talked about age, sex, and activity levels.
Mm-hmm.
But Nutrition 101 goes a bit deeper and mentions things like underlying health conditions,
Okay.
body composition,
Mm-hmm.
even our individual metabolism.
And let's not forget personal preferences. We can't force ourselves to eat foods we just don't enjoy.
Exactly. Personal preferences and cultural influences play a huge role in creating a sustainable and enjoyable way of eating.
Right.
It's not just about numbers.
Yeah.
It's about finding what works for you.
So it's all about balance.
Yeah.
Not just balancing those different food groups, but balancing the science of nutrition with our own lifestyle and needs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nutrition 101 asks another great question.
Yeah.
How can we effectively balance our macronutrient intake for optimal health? This is where paying attention to your body and
Yeah.
how different foods make you feel
Mm-hmm.
is so important.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, if you find you're often tired or sluggish,
Yeah.
you might need to adjust your carbohydrate intake.
Okay.
Or if you're not feeling full after meals,
Mm-hmm.
increasing protein and healthy fats could help.
So it's a bit of a trial and error process.
It can be. It's about getting to know your body and how it responds to different foods.
Mm-hmm.
It's also about being flexible and adapting your diet as you learn more.
Right.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to nutrition.
So individualization is key.
Yes.
This is all really helpful. But I know some of our listeners are probably wondering,
Yeah.
what about micronutrients? How can I make sure I'm getting enough of all those vitamins and minerals? Let's
Yeah.
dive into that.
Well, Nutrition 101 tackles this head on.
Okay.
Remember, even though they're needed in smaller amounts,
Mhm.
micronutrients play massive roles in our well-being.
For sure.
We talked about vitamins being crucial for immune function, energy production,
Right.
and protecting our cells.
And minerals help with everything from strong bones to healthy blood and proper nerve function.
Yes.
But with so many, how do we make sure we're getting enough of each one?
This is where the concept of a balanced and varied diet comes into play again.
Okay.
No single food contains all the micronutrients we need.
Wow.
So eating a rainbow of different foods is the best way to ensure we're covered.
But what if, for whatever reason, eating a diverse range of foods is a challenge?
That's a good question.
Are there other ways to prevent those micronutrient deficiencies?
There are. And that's what we'll explore as we wrap up in part 3 of our deep dive.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive on nutrition. And we're tackling this question of what if? Eating a rainbow of foods just isn't realistic for everybody.
It's true. Life happens sometimes. A diverse diet isn't possible.
Right.
Maybe due to food allergies,
Yeah.
picky eating,
Uh-huh.
or even just limited access to a variety of fresh foods.
Right.
But Nutrition 101 has some great strategies
Okay.
for those situations.
This is where it gets really practical, so let's dive in.
One approach is to focus on nutrient-dense options within the food groups that you do enjoy.
Okay.
So if leafy greens aren't your thing,
Yeah.
think about other sources of vitamin C like citrus fruits,
Okay.
bell peppers,
Mm-hmm.
or strawberries.
So it's about working with what you got and being smart about those choices.
Exactly. Another strategy is to take advantage of fortified foods.
Okay.
A lot of cereals, bread, and even some dairy products
Hmm.
are fortified with essential vitamins and minerals like vitamin D,
Oh, yeah.
iron, and B vitamins.
That's a great point. I always forget about fortified foods.
They can be a real asset,
Yeah.
especially if you're working with a limited range of foods.
Yeah.
And of course, there are always dietary supplements.
Right.
Nutrition 101 points out that they can be particularly helpful for individuals with specific deficiencies or dietary restrictions.
That makes sense, but navigating the world of supplements can feel overwhelming.
For sure.
There are so many options.
It's true. That's why it's crucial to talk to a healthcare professional before starting any supplements.
Okay.
They can help determine if you actually need them
Right.
and recommend safe and appropriate options.
Personalized advice is so important.
Absolutely.
It seems like that's been a recurring theme throughout this whole deep dive into nutrition.
It really is. There's no magic bullet or one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to nutrition.
Right.
It's about understanding your unique needs and preferences,
Yeah.
being mindful of what you're eating,
Mm-hmm.
and making informed choices that support your overall health and well-being.
You know what? I came into this thinking it was going to be all about like strict rules and specific diets,
Yeah,
but Nutrition 101 helped us uncover something much more interesting.
I think so too.
It's really about nourishing our bodies with what they need to thrive.
Well said. And remember, our understanding of nutrition is always evolving.
Yeah.
There's so much more to learn and discover.
Oh, yeah.
The key is to stay curious.
Uh-huh.
Keep asking questions.
Yeah.
And listen to what your body's telling you.
This has been a fantastic exploration. I hope you all enjoyed this deep dive into the world of nutrition.
I did.
And that you feel empowered to make choices that support your health journey. What really stood out to you from Nutrition 101? What will you be thinking about and maybe even researching further? We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning. And as always, thanks for joining us on the deep dive on the deep